is like a cool piece of art, and that's really nice.
Yeah, we're back to these two, and quick shout out as well to Golden Guardians, of course, for supporting GMO through their Smash Grassroots funds. So thank you to GG for making GMO a possibility this year. It's very cool to bring this event back. But we're back to these two guys that have interestingly angled cameras that make them look like really big people. What was that book that everyone had to read in high school where they like travel to the island and there's like really big people on one of them and there's really small people on another one?
The island that makes you old.
That's a movie, isn't it?
Movie.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
Sorry,
Come
I
on,
don't
man.
actually know the book you're talking about.
Oh, it was oh my god, what was it? Gulliver's Island? Was that what it was?
Maybe.
There's
maybe.
there's like flying people. I don't know. I just know that there was like a giant island and then like a miniature island. So like the characters were really big on one of the islands. Yeah, Gulliver's Travels. Thank you.
Is this a way of plugging the Gulliver's Travels audiobook that you have narrated? That's coming out soon.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine how like five-head that would have been?
I mean, it would be cool if you became an audiobook narrator. Definitely, we need to get Edwin to get the Book of Melee audiobook going.
Yeah, that would be sick. But
yeah,
like we said in the winner's set, iBDW is very comfortable in this matchup, as is indicated by his 10-1 record over Axe. However, Swift brought Cody to Game 5 in their winner's set just now. It was very, very, very close, and took their last two online sets as well several months ago.
absolutely. I'm just laughing at Chroma saying nobody would escape Edwin Budding's island. I've seen it. You can hunt people there. I firmly believe that Edwin Budding is the Smash personality that is like a year or two from blowing up. That guy is more than a little eccentric. He's like the next gen Crimson Blur, man. Just hilarious lines coming out everywhere. But looks like we're about to get into the match. Oh no, okay. That was just a test. We're all here.
Grand Finals, Radar.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is kind of the grudge match. Swift wants to kind of turn this around. The last set that they had was so close. Swift kind of shaking his head, looking frustrated. And I mean, we've seen just kind of how dominant he can be against Spaceys just a moment ago.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, got a charge frame in there as well, just to really, really make sure it kills Swift first on the board.
Yeah, good patience on there with the shield. Interested to see iBDW's use of down tilt in this set. That has been something he's been using to kind of zone out some of Pikachu's approaches, while also setting up for like things like up airs, back airs as well. Nice forward air.
Swift back on ledge again. Yeah, Cody, so much respect so far for the ledge options from Swift. Oh my gosh, double hit though too. Looked for perhaps a edge cancel rather on that down air. Oh no, what's happening here?
So that's enough to get us through it. That's the kind of exciting commentary you're looking for, right? Cody is green, Pikachu is yellow.
Okay. Cody inching his way right back on this third stock. Weak hit back air. It doesn't convert into too much more, but again, so much pressure overall, and I think the way Cody is respecting Pikachu's ledge options by just kind of like running towards center, just like that too. Not getting super overextended. Like I said during the winner's game, he doesn't really get caught by a lot of these tricks that that Pikachu's like Axe kind of made very popular.
Yeah, you can definitely see kind of Cody's got the experience. And I was saying this earlier about how like Cody just generally seems to be a bit more prepared with certain matchups. He seems to approach the game in a way where it's like playing the matchup more often than playing the player is the simple way of saying it. Like, I feel like Mango very often as a Fox kind of just sticks to like the same 3 or 4 approaches that he's really good at, and then just plays it so complexly that it's hard to keep up with. Whereas Cody kind of like learns the more niche stuff that gets you a little bit more value and kind of tries to push his advantage there.
Damn, yeah, crazy good mix-up from Cody on the recovery, but it doesn't even matter there. Swift making it a one-stock game here to take game one. Swift, of course, coming from loser's side as well, so it needs 2 sets to reset here and win.
Yeah, and that is a tall order, man. Like, beating Cody twice in a row, even though we saw how close the first set was, but that is precisely why...
This angle!
Yeah, why it is so difficult. I think that that was kind of a bit of a battlefield. We haven't seen it in a while.
Okay,
But-
out the gates here.
Yeah, the classic. Get ready to see that combo counter go up pretty long. Wow, gets green with the
Damn,
mash.
mash out.
Doesn't get it. Yeah, that's not something we see very often. There's the down
Did,
tilt.
Swift pre-pummeled there, right? That's probably how he got out, I think. I didn't catch what happened exactly for that grab. Damn. Oh my gosh, what a reversal, actually, just kind of happening completely off of Cody's mash there.
Yeah, if Swift loses this game, very likely will lose this set. And that's a situation where it's like, yo, if you had not pummeled there, maybe this is an entirely different game, right? Taking 35, 31, 45, 47, like slowly losing that kind of edge, getting more and more extra credit is Cody. And, you know, it's slipping away from him. Turning this around is just looking so rough. Yeah, we're seeing Swift even kind of rubbing his forehead in frustration.
And we did see Swift at a deficit in their first counterpick to FD on the winner's side set, so it's not out of the realm of possibility, but yeah, Cody's doing something right now.
Yeah.
There's a word that I would say, and I know Chroma's in chat, and I think he knows what word I would say, but I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, I mean, one word that Swift might be saying is GG soon. Like, this is
Yeah.
this is not looking. Oh, but okay, that was the stray hit. Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay,
cut your
well-
losses, I guess. Is it a run back to FD, though, when Cody's just good on FD? I think that much is clear, right? Cody can beat Marth on FD. That's just impossible.
Yeah, that is.
No one's
definitely-
ever done that before.
Oh man, continues the chain grab once more. Gets a little bit extra. Nice DI mix up with the nair. I'm gonna close it out with the up air. Good stuff from Swift. This is the Swift we need to see. But yeah, it's coming a little late, Walt. Like, I feel if you're in losers, you cannot afford to be dropping stocks. Even if we see like a 4 stock from Swift, the road ahead is more than a little uphill.
Wow, yeah, looks for grab, too. I feel like you could just go, like, F-smash there or just reset the edge guard position, but maybe just wanted to get grab, forward throw off stage, and then do it all over again. Swift having to work pretty hard for this, though. I love that quick attack setup he has, too.
He does it so often too. Like I really like the quick attack. Gets the single hit on the up air though, and iBDW's starting to turn this around. I love that Chroma saying the winner should have the best of 25 AMSA. That was one of the more insane melee things we've seen. For those who didn't catch it, spoiler alert: 3, 2, 1. Club beat AMSA 25-2. So
Yeah, that's wild.
pretty good.
It is. I mean, Amsa has historically said in interviews that he thinks Plup is the best player in the world.
That honestly is like the classic where like you know when you play a character, like you play Mario for example, maybe you play a certain matchup like Falco, and you go like, yo, Falco's such a good character because that Mario Falco matchup is like just so brutal. That's kind of I think what like happening with Amsa. Where like Plup, of course, amazing, but when your character just like kind of wrecks Yoshi, and then on top of that, probably the play style is quite good versus Amsa. You know, Amsa's just like, yo, he's a god. Like, I've been doing everything I can. He's untouchable, man. Up smash should close it. One more stock.
Okay, this is oh, he calls it out. That's gross. Fox is broken. Fox is broken.
Pretty good.
Drops on
but
air, okay, or up air rather. Excuse me.
This is the beauty of FD. You know, like you drop the edge guard and you're like, all right, round 2.
You're like, oh, I just get to
Round
do it
3?
again. This is
Round 3?
awesome. It's like, do it. All right, on the board.
Up smash. No.
Nice.
I mix up on the up smash. Basically.
Okay,
Very,
so
very,
Swift
very
gets
good, actually.
one. Is he nervous about this? 2 counter picks from Cody coming through. Definitely a tall order for reasons we said before the set even started, and we're going to Pokemon Stadium.
Not surprising to see this, especially since we've been seeing so many kind of vertical kills off of Cody. But yeah, I could see Swift kind of like doing a little bit of the self-talk there, trying to pump himself up, back throwing like Sunsei, but I don't know if that's enough. That was good SDI, but an up smash makes it not matter.
Yeah, Cody just looking so clean right now off of that first stock. I mean, it's been really hard for Swift to find a lot of openings, with the exception of that FD game.
Yeah, it really has. Someone in chat was mentioning that Pikachu looks kind of like a trucker with this hat, and I feel like that trucker is like making his last stop today. Walt, it's hurting me to see just how powerful these conversions are, but manages to live there on Pokemon Stadium of all stages. So there are signs of life with Swift. It's just uphill, man.
Few stocks down right now. Yeah, Cody again, just so smart with these. No, is that it? That's got to be it. Nail in the coffin, as it were.
I just
Still
want to
fighting.
come back ever, but I don't. Yeah.
Well, congrats to iBDW for winning GMO, I guess. I don't know. That's one way the tournament could end.
You know what though? He's gonna listen to Halsey.
Dub him right now. I be doing work. I did so much work. What's he saying now? Go.
The perspective we have from Cody is like when someone doesn't know they're on like a hidden camera show and they get like really close to the thing. Like they're like, yeah, well, what I'm thinking is, and it's like the perspective is just so off. But I'm sure he's saying something like, yeah, you know, I just kept it together. That's like a Cody classic. Is I was just more composed there. I had a really solid mental, and so that's what it was.
Yeah, I think it's super cool. I think this was brought up at the most recent summit as well, of kind of like when we talk about narratives of players. I know that's like a crazy thing to think about, when it comes to stories and whatnot in this game and storylines. But Cody was just a player who I think a lot of people said had a rough time when it came to like the mental game and things like that. So now to hear kind of like all of his post-game commentary come back and say like, yeah, I just kept my mental together, had a really strong mental. Arguably the strongest, like mentally strong player I think in the scene right now, and if the reverse 3-0s on Zane and HBox weren't indicative of that either from Summit, I think winning GMO is probably a good example as well.
Yeah, no, definitely an impressive showing from iBDW, but it looks like with the end of the event, it is now our time to sign off. We are going to throw to Deer with Cody, iBDW, to kind of do, I think, a post-game interview. I'm not entirely sure. But in the meantime, Walt, can you kind of shout yourself out a little bit?
Yeah, man. Twitch chat would fucking like that, wouldn't they? All right, thank you guys for watching. You can follow me at Turn Down for Walt on YouTube. Road to hopefully 60K soon. That's what we're going for. And huge shout outs as always to Deer for putting on a really awesome event.
What's up?
Yo, how's it going? Thank you so much. And Turn Down for Walt. We are gonna transition on over into a post-game interview. Except I'm just looking at the wrong screen. There we go. How's it going, Cody? Congratulations on the W. How are you feeling?
Thank you. Pretty good. Swift's obviously really good. Winners finals I got a little lucky because he SD'd a little bit. I made a lot of very conscious adjustments going into Grand, so Grand's held much better. Thanks, Moki.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, that winners finals was a pretty tight nail biter. What do you think were the biggest adjustments you made to clean it up in the Grand set instead?
A lot of the way I interact with Axe in the corner, a lot of those interactions don't work as well against him, and he reversaled me for a lot of them, or not reversaled, he just won those interactions and got a kill off them. So I had to find lower committal ways to punish him dashing in the corner, because I think his dash ins in the corner was much tighter. So down tilt became really key, and then showing him that I was going to go in more, but then pulling back was actually really helpful, because it conditioned him to think that he could get a bunch of grabs that I wasn't going to give him. and then I would pull back last second, not just with the nair, but like way dash back or dashing out instead. And that got me a lot of grabs. And then also I realized if he's going to do that and he's looking for grab in the corner, full hop over, just beats it. I got a few kills with up air that way. That was the main one. And then a few scraps I just cleaned up and a few habits I picked up on, like ledge habits.
Yeah, a lot of people like to say that you're like the fox that destroys mid tiers and low tiers, and you know how to do it well. What do you think are some of those aspects of Pikachu that you like to capitalize and bully a lot as Fox?
He just has no hitboxes. Like his hitboxes are really small, and he's really susceptible to crouch cancel. And so movement makes him. If you're a standing target, right? If you have bad hitboxes, but you're like a standing target, it's easy to hit someone who's not quick with a move that isn't that big. But if someone's moving around a lot and changing their positions very frequently, and it's right outside of a range where you might be able to hit them, that's going to be really hard for you to kind of deal with, because you have to aim your move so precisely, especially when your grab is so small, so dash back grab isn't as good. And so abusing that is just really, really important.
That makes sense. I see that this week you've been grinding online stuff, and you've been really trying to, I guess, just grind melee and try harder on melee. What's your what's up right now for you these days with melee? Like, what's got you grinding so much? Yeah, what's on your radar right now for things? What are you mainly thinking about?
I don't think I'm necessarily grinding more than I have in the past. I'm definitely more consciously grinding because of Smash World Tour and Panda Cup, of course. But I think I'm pretty consistent with how much I play. I usually play 4 or 5 hours a day, 5 or 6 days a week, and sometimes more. And then I try to enter 1 or 2 online events a week because I think it's just really good practice. It's like, I think that playing a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to lose to such and such player. But one, it's online. It literally does not count for rankings. And 2, if you're the better player, it should benefit you to play someone and learn their habits more than vice versa, unless you're getting away with gimmicks, in which case that's not a good play style, in my opinion. Anyways, I don't want to play like that. So I think that it's good practice for me to get sets against a lot of these players who could definitely just beat me at a in-person bracket and get more experience against them. And then I have a lot of info going into all my sets with them if I play them in person, which I think helps me a lot.
That makes sense. With Melee, there's so much going on in-game. It must be hard sometimes to figure out, like, just handling what's going on outside of game. When I see players like yourself playing in an in-person venue with thousands of people cheering against or for you, how much do you feel like the environment you're playing in, whether you're an in-person in arena or in the Summit gaming room or at home in your room, really affects your gameplay for you?
I don't think you can let it affect you. So the thing is, you can let it affect you if you can use it in a positive way. So a lot of people gave me shit for this. I don't think they understand. When Apex rooted for Axe against me, that made me play better because I was like, okay, you guys want to see Axe win? You're not going to support your region? Okay, let me play a little bit better and shut you up real fast. And that's not, they can root for whoever they want. Of course I get they're going to root for Axe. He's a fan favorite, but I'm using that in a way to fuel my gameplay, not in a way that means, oh, like, screw them. How could they possibly do this to me? It's okay. I see you. Now I'm going to play a little bit better. And so if you use it in that way, it's helpful. But the problem is some people do that without also being able to filter out the stuff that makes them play worse. If that's the case, you just got to get noise canceling headphones. That's just the way you have to do it.
That makes sense. How much does stuff like if there's commentary in the venue actually affect you, or does that matter to you at all either?
Not really. If it does, I just put on headphones.
Cool. Good to know. Good to hear it directly from you. I also wanted to talk about Swift is somebody who does play on a digital controller, and that's been a topic of discourse a lot in our community, controllers, digital controllers, and whatnot. Where are you currently feeling on things like digital controllers versus modded controllers and whatnot in this current landscape?
My full opinion is that boxes need a nerf, but they're not carrying people. It's like people like Swift and Pip and Zuppy aren't getting results because they're playing on the box. They might have things that they're marginally better at or have an easier time doing than on the controller, but I don't think that makes them automatically a good player. I do think it will be a problem down the road, and so I do think they do need nerfs, probably a travel time nerf, but I do not want them banned. I want people to be able to use them, especially because I think that it is really nice to have an alternative for people who literally cannot play on controllers or just don't want to deal with the controller breaking, because when you have an analog stick, it's going to be objectively harder to just keep your controller consistent. I think that Goom Waves are probably too good. Probably. Being able to predict inputs and the up tilt rounding, I think is a little silly. So I want to see like a minor nerf to that, but it's nothing crazy. And also, if they could figure out a way to make input prediction not be a thing, that's probably better. Fob, as long as you're using an OEM code, is fine. You can make the fob really broken. I don't want to. I don't want that to be a thing. Yeah, I've actively told my modders I do not want that whatsoever. My fob is a vanilla controller that's slightly better. So I think fobs are fine if you have a standard code that says it's like an OEM controller. A lot of people don't like button remapping. Button remapping is just a claw switch. People are complaining about my instant aerials. Like, first off,
Z jump, right? Yeah.
First off, if you're complaining about instant nair, I can instant nair by using Y and Z. Well, no, you don't need a claw. You use Y and Z. Yeah,
Y and
for instant nair, you just use Y and Z. It's frame one. Like, you should not ever miss an instant nair, even if you don't claw. That's on you being bad. The up air stuff, there's a few ways to do it. I showed it on stream where you can flick. You can use your wrist to flick off with your index finger. So I'll show it like this. You can claw with Y or X, however, depending how big your hands are. And instead of doing independent finger motions, you want to like flick your wrist. Flicking your wrist will give you the instant motion you're looking for, and it makes it very repeatable. You can also use the base of your thumb to hit for instant up air, which also works. Some people prefer one or the other. I used to claw it. I don't anymore because my hands are too big to claw on the controller repeatedly. So I had to switch to Z jump because it's healthier for me. But I don't think button remapping is an issue as long as it's 1-to-1. I don't see why it would be. It's just a claw. It's just a grip switch. Like, I can claw and achieve the same thing as I can with Z jump.
Makes sense. I'm gonna ask the last few questions from chat.
Sure.
One of them is from Radar in chat, who had the pleasure of commentating your set. Who do you want to win off most right now of the players out there?
Either Zane or Mango, which is the obvious answer, but for the actual reason, Zane because I think he is the most likely person to get number 1 right now. Mango because he's the person who's had my number by far the most this year, especially the second half. So I've been practicing a lot of tech chasing and make sure my punish game is a lot more fluid next time I go in to play him.
That makes sense. I'm not sure if you had the chance. This is a question from Vancity Primal. I'm not sure if you had the chance to see our stream, but on our stream, we had two really cool new innovations, which were the Gallant counter, which told you how much Gallant a player got on their ledge dash. That was in the bottom left and right, as well as the combo counter. I think the Gallant counter got a little covered on your screen with your camera or something like that. But in this day and age, so any thoughts on either of those things? And then I've got a follow-up question after as well.
Was I getting good glint? That's my first question.
Yeah, I think it was actually really impressive for us as viewers to actually really just get to know how much glint people are getting, because people are getting I didn't actually catch any frame perfect ones. If anyone in chat did, let me know. But most
I don't go for frame perfect ones.
1 to 3 frames off from being perfect, which was really impressive.
I intentionally don't go for frame perfect ones because I think the risk is too high. I think those are really cool. The problem is obviously, can you get Nintendo on board with it? If you can sell it as a external mod that you're putting onto the stream and not an internal one, then I think it's fine. But if you have to get them to agree to that, because I'd rather not deal with my game getting shut down. I'm not going to comment on whether they're good or not. I just don't want my game to get shut down. I'd like to keep playing.
That makes sense. What are the coolest things these days you think really blow your mind with melee technology and what's out there? If there's anything that's really blowing your mind these days, or the most recent thing?
I think just Slippy in general is absolutely fucking mind blowing when you think about it. Uncle Punch obviously is up there too, but I think it's the obvious and non-exciting answer. But I think it's also just the best answer. Just Slippy is insane.
Cool. Thank you so much, Cody. Any last shout-outs or things you want to say to the stream before we sign off here for the night?
I mean, just shout out to everyone who watched, team for putting it together. Obviously, Panda, Emily, my girlfriend, she's the best. If I get to 800 subs today, I'm bringing back a tournament run where every time I win a set, I have to take a shot. The last time I did that, I got to Grands and then lost to Swiss Pichu. So I'm going to hope to do a little better this time. But if you want to see that, come by, drop us up a Prime, a few gifts. Just saying. Trying to get my stream back up now that my surgery's over and I can stream again.
Sweet. Awesome to hear. Congrats once again. And I look forward to seeing your subsequent tournament runs, and we'll definitely be rating you after the stream ends. So
Thank you so much.
See you there. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Cheers. I'll be ending out the stream here, so you're welcome to head off, and we'll head to just me.
All right. Take it easy. Thank you, dear.